Greetings, future aviators of America. A high-flying welcome to the Thomas School of Aviation, right here in Ithaca, New York, USA. Now at the Thomas School, we make just one guarantee. We will have you up and flying advanced aircraft like the one you're about to see before the end of this year, before the end of 1918. Now I hear some of you say, huh? 1918? How are you going to do that? Isn't there a war going on somewhere? And you're absolutely right about that great war in Europe. The First World War. The war to end all wars. Ha! Half you hotshots can't wait to fly over enemy lines, to engage in aerial combat, to dogfight with the bloody Red Baron, maybe even shoot him down. Ack, 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 ack. Take that, bloody Red Baron. Cool your carburetors, students. This class is not dogfighting 101. You can sign up for that next week? Yeah, Mr. Thomas says next week. You have to bring your own airplane to dogfighting for some reason. Now, speaking of airplanes, here at the Thomas School, before we let you up in our precious airplanes, we have a couple screening type questions. You ready? First, is there anyone here who is not old enough to learn to fly? Anyone? Now you see, that was a trick question, because remember, this is 1918. There is absolutely no age requirement to learn to fly. If you can learn things and you have $400, what are you waiting for? Second question, a little tougher. There is no one here, no one I'm sure, who has what we call an adverse relationship with gravity, right? By that I mean you're not afraid to fly sideways or upside down in an open cockpit airplane without a seatbelt, right? Good. You know, we're going to get along this week. I had a student through here last week who was a little squeamish about landing these pretty airplanes in the poopy cow pastures we have around Ithaca. I finally had to say, you're at the Thomas School now. We start all of our students out the very first day on the... We start all of our students out the very second day on the Thomas flying boat. Have you seen that down on the lake? What a brilliant piece of engineering. It's like a boat with wings. Out on the ends of the wings are these pontoon floaty things. Yeah, and the propellers out back, so you can land on a pond without chopping up the ducks. Well, don't take my word for it. It says right here, take off and land on the tranquil waters of Lake Cayuga. What could possibly go wrong with that? What? You say our airplanes are made of wooden sticks and wire and fabric cloth? Are they even safe? Safe? What's safe got to do with it? Future aviators of America, you are looking at a brand new 1918 Thomas Morse S-4B Scout. This aircraft is the single-seat trainer of choice of the United States Army. We call it the Tommy around here, and hundreds of these Tommies are flying off the assembly lines of the airplane factories all over town. Big government contract, lots of jobs for everybody. In fact, my Uncle Louis says this 1918 model will... Oops, I wasn't supposed to show you this one. Cover your eyes. The Army will shoot me now. Okay, I think they're gone. The 1918 Thomas Morse Scout is powered by a 9-cylinder Lerone engine, makes 80 horsepower, good for 95 miles per hour top speed, an operational flight ceiling of 13,000 feet. That's 13,000. Woo! You know, the air gets very thin and cold up there. We may not do this today. Wingspan. Tommy has a wingspan of 27 feet. That times 2, because this is a biplane, gives you 240 square feet of wing surface. All that wing surface, the extreme lightweight and maneuverability makes the Tommy supremely aerobatic. This Tommy will loop, this Tommy will roll, this Tommy will do the spiral of death. You know how to do the spiral of death, right? Exactly. You're just flying along nice and level, la-di-da, when unexpectedly and without warning, you cut the engine. Nose are over, set the controls for a clockwise spiral, and slowly, silently, you corkscrew into the earth. Help me with the sound effects there, kids. Now the crowd at the air show is going, something's wrong, his engine stopped. That's when you let off a trail of smoke for dramatic effect. Now remember, restart your engine before you hit the ground. Nose up, level off, fly straight at the crowd. At the last possible moment, you flip on your back. You're upside down over the crowd. The men are throwing their hats in the air. The women are blowing you kisses. It's the most glorious moment in aviation. Full disclosure here, I am no longer certified to teach stunt flying and barnstorming in this county anymore. There was a little incident out in Newfield, Enfield, I don't know. All those barns look alike from the air. I don't want to talk about it. In fact, that's all the time we have today. Any questions? Good. See you next class, and thank you for choosing the Thomas School of Aviation. All right, don't go away yet. Mr. Thomas says I do have to take questions. In fact, he says, if you can stump the flight instructor with your questions, we get to do a field trip tomorrow instead of these boring classes. So give me your toughest questions.
Can airplanes fly backwards?
I have no idea. Okay, you've stumped the instructor. Field trip tomorrow. Just kidding. That's a very good question. Let's see if we can figure this out. It has something to do with the propeller and maybe the shape of the wings. So if you look at the propeller, it's not exactly straight, it's twisted. We call that the pitch. And that's what drives the airplane through the air, what pulls it through the air. Another factor might be the shape of the wings. If you look at a wing sideways, you see it's not flat either. It's actually fatter in the front. And this is called an airfoil. And the effect is that the air is going under the flat part of the wing at a certain speed, say 95 miles per hour. But to get over the top, the air has to speed up. And that causes increased pressure underneath the wing. And that's what lifts the airplane. The airfoil is shaped as it is. It won't work in reverse. One more possibility, and help me think about that. If we fly in reverse, we're going to get where we're going before we leave. You think that's possible? Maybe not. Okay, first two, the propeller and the shape of the wing. That's it. That's why airplanes can't fly in reverse. All right, time for one more question.
What kind of lubricating oil is used in the engine?
What kind of lubricating oil is in the engine? Now that is a very good question. In these aircraft, we use castor oil. It's from the castor oil plant. It's a plant-based lubricant. Now, the important thing about a lubricant is that it's slippery. It makes it possible for the moving parts of the airplane to slip past each other without friction. Where else have you heard about castor oil? What does your mother give you when you have constipation? Castor oil. One little problem with this castor oil lubricant. When you're flying this airplane, it just flies right in your face. It's not recycled. It just flies out. You have to use your scarf to wipe off your goggles. And if you're flying along with your mouth open, you say, oh, look at that cool bird, you're going to get laxative. Another good reason to wear your mask.